All right, David McKinney here with Jerrell Thundercat Hodge, uh, fighting again this weekend in another main event, B2 Fighting Series 138 in Dayton, Ohio, fighting Ben Pierre Saint. But we'll get into that. But first off, man, how's it going?
It's going, that this final week of cutting weight, and this is the hard part right here. So it's not fun, but it's necessary, I guess.
That's always the fun part, right? The after the cut and weight, then the fight night is the fun night.
That's the fun, yeah. That's the fun. This right here is just torture. I
I
don't
know.
recommend anybody do this part. This part sucks.
So you're coming in, three straight wins on the MMA side, and I know you had kind of a long layoff prior to this year, but you came back early this year, and had three impressive wins, all stoppages. Um, I kind of thought that by this point in the year, with how impressive you've been, you'd be kind of on that next level, or at least like starting to get a look. What do you
Right?
feel like you got to do to impress the brass like Dana White or Scott Coker and Bellator? What do you feel like you got to do on Saturday night to make sure that you get that call after this one?
I mean, continue to do me really like, finish fights like I did my last three this year. And just keep showing how good I am and how much better of a MMA fighter I am than the guys that I'm going against on this local level. You know what I'm saying?
And so that's the big thing too. So the guy you fought in your last fight, Tommy Espinosa, I think a lot of people, um, had pegged him, especially early in his career, similar to you, in that you guys were both top prospects. You both kind of went through some ups and downs in your career. And I got to say, man, you looked like, and I think I said it in when I was doing commentary for the fight, you looked like a guy that was next level ready and on a whole different level than him. And I mean, he is a fantastic fighter. He was
Right.
coming
Yeah.
off of a layoff, but you made him look like an amateur out there. And not to disrespect him, but you came out and looked great. I think that that's a good point that you really have proven. I think so far that you're so above a lot of the guys that you're fighting.
Yeah. Most definitely. Like looking at, I mean, not just myself. Most of like most of my confidence is is up there again. I'm feeling more confidence about my skills. In the beginning of a couple years, 2 years ago, my confidence wasn't there, especially after I took that loss with Tony Gravely. I kind of lost my confidence. Then I took another loss right after that, and that really destroyed my confidence. But I got it back, and I feel it. And every time I step in that cage, I just look at the guy across me like you're not on my level. I don't care who you are, what's your record. My level is so higher than yours. Like you can't touch me, dude.
So you mentioned the cage. You also stepped into the boxing ring earlier
Ah,
this year, made your debut. You got a win, and then came up short in the second fight. What was the decision to go into boxing? Was it just to stay busy? Was it, hey, I want to show that I got some striking in addition to a really good ground game? What was behind that?
it was pretty much both. Like you said, most definitely was to stay busy. That was the biggest thing. Cause coming off those three wins, I was hoping that Bellator, you'll see somebody call me up after those three impressive wins. But I'm like, and I'm not gonna sit here and wait on them to call me. I'm gonna stay busy. Try to at least get not an MMA fight right now, but maybe like a boxing match or jujitsu match, fight to win or something. Like I want to stay busy, but like me having that boxing match also showed the other side to people like, well, Jerrell just not just a wrestler. He got some good hands. He move around, body shots. So it was a good thing that I took that boxing match. I kind of like that. Show the other side.
And I mean, I would be the last guy to ever say that you're just a wrestler, especially after the fight against Tobias Taylor earlier this year, and you were, and I mean, you made me look. I've been doing the commentary thing for a long time, and I will
Uh-huh.
say, I don't get tripped up too much, and I was like,
Yeah.
what in the world? You were in like a mounted, like you had him mounted, but you were kind of low on him in
Low.
the
Yep.
legs, and then
Mm-hmm.
you basically just hipped in and finished a knee bar from there. And I was like, what in the, is that something that you hit like all the time? Is that something that was just like, hey, let me try this? How did that come about?
We always used to do it a lot in Evolve. Like it was Evolve thing back in the day. We used to.
See, I should have known that's a
Yeah,
John Cook.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we used to always hit the knee bars on each other, especially in gi a lot, because you got more control. You can control the gi and hold them still. So it was more evolved thing, and then like after that, after I hit that on Tobias, all the people I go to at next level was like, "Oh, we know what to look out for now. You gonna hit that knee bar." So every time I try to do it to them, they already know what's happening, so they just back off or pull out or anything. But yeah, something we used to do back in the day, and I was like, "Oh, I'm down here, might as well hit it."
Yeah, and even I mean Luke Zachrich, a jiu-jitsu black belt high level guy, was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. So I mean, you're out
Oh,
there impressing black belts, but
bro, Chad was in there. I think Chad was the ref that night, but he looked at Tobias, went to go check on his leg. He didn't know what leg to check on, so he was like, "I'll forget it." He was like, "Forget it." Then he came over to me like, he was like, "Hey, Jerrell, what did you do?" I was like, "I did a knee bar." I'm like, nobody saw this. The whole crowd was quiet. Like, I don't think my jujitsu coach. I didn't think he got a good look because it was like so close to our side of the ring. He didn't see what happened. Bye, bye. I'm on the phone. Go, leave. See, but yeah, I don't think he saw what happened. So everybody was just like, "What the heck just happened?" The whole crowd was quiet. They was like, "What happened? Did he tap? Did he something happen?" It was crazy that one.
yeah, and not to change subjects too much, but
Mhm.
you mentioned John Cook, of
Yeah.
course, a legend in the Ohio MMA scene, and the guy that kind of got you started in MMA. And he had, he's had a rough couple years, and then I know that you said that was, basically like your father, and I know
Mm-hmm.
that he had that kind of relationship with a lot of fighters and just a lot of people in general, and of course,
Yeah.
um, he was diagnosed with cancer a couple years ago. Everything I see him starting to get active on social media again. Do you
Mm-hmm.
still stay in touch with him? And how's John doing these days?
Yeah, we text now and then. I went to go see him a couple months ago. This year we went to the gun range because that's something he loved to do. I mean, he's John Cook, strong spirit. Nothing can really break that dude. He's just like a beast in life. Period. And fighting, handling anything in life, he's just a beast. Like he goes at it head on. Like nothing would defeat him. So he's strong spirit, and I believe he can beat anything. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Always. I know he always
always
gave
man.
me a bunch. Like he always acted like he didn't know who I was, and but yeah, he always had something for everyone, right? And definitely a unique dude, and has touched a lot of people in this sport. But
Mhm.
yeah, so we talked about Evolve, and that was your original gym. Where are you training at now? I know you're at Next Level. Are you still training at Aries? What's the training camp look like for heading into this fight?
Yeah, I'm still at Aries. That's my home gym. That's where I get all my most of my work at. Next level, most of my jujitsu and striking there too. So I'm back and forth between those gyms a lot. Um, Training for this one, I just train every fight just to fight. Yeah, I don't look for nothing. Like Dave is the guy that goes in the books and do all the research and this and that. I'm like, just give me a fight, whoever it is, let's go. Like it's really just being ready and being confident. That's the biggest thing in every fight for me. Just being confident, and you got to be ready, like to fight, because it's a fight at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed about Dave Graff, your coach at Aries, he's
Mm-hmm.
got starting to build up that team there at Aries, and you guys aren't just fighting. Not obviously you fought mostly in Ohio, but you
Yeah.
guys aren't just fighting in Ohio. Amateurs are going out of state, other pros are going out of state.
Uh huh.
He's definitely wanting to keep you guys active, but then
Yep.
also saying, hey, let's get out of this bubble a little bit. What's it feel like having a guy like that behind you that's like his heart and all he's all in the fight game.
I mean, like him and John Cook. John was always in, full in to go. It's just it's good to have somebody there to help motivate you and push you through when you getting tired. Like Dave, when he see me getting tired and like I'm not in it, he always push me and motivate me and put my head back in line. Like hey, bro, we got this fight. You got this. He always motivate me. So you need that in any sport. Because sometimes you get a big head, sometimes you fall off and you don't want to do it anymore. So you need somebody there to help put you back on the right track.
Yeah, and let's talk about your opponent for this weekend. So Ben Pierre Saint, a guy I think he's coming out of Wisconsin, been around for a while, but actually hasn't fought in over 5 years. Got some
Oh,
submissions.
seriously?
So you didn't even know
See,
that, right?
bro, I told you I don't do no research. I do not. You said 5 years?
Yeah,
Wow.
2016 was his last fight. So Yeah. So he's almost 5 years, but coming in off a couple wins.
Okay.
And I guess I feel silly even asking you now. What do you know about him? Because it seems like you focus more on yourself, right?
Focus more on myself. Look, you ask me what I know about him, I'm gonna tell you I don't know nothing. I'm
See,
sorry.
yeah. So I thought, heading into your last fight with Espinosa, he was coming off a layoff too, and it
Hmm.
seemed like in that fight that you started a little bit faster than some of the other fights. Like it seemed like you didn't take as long to you jumped on him real quick. Was that something you saw? Was that something that you saw when you first got in there that like maybe you looked in his eyes and he was like, hey,
I
he
looked
thinks he
in
can
his
take me.
eyes. Yep. It was the eyes things for him. And it's that's a telltale too with a lot of fighters. Like the first guy, Mike Johnson, in his eyes, he looked like he wanted to go. And he shot off the rip. Like, okay, he was coming fast. Yeah, he came
Yeah.
full blasted. And then I looked into Tobias' eyes and he was more calm, relaxed, like, okay, we gotta, feel each other out that first round. And when I looked in Tony, what's his name again?
Yeah, Tommy
Tommy. Yeah,
Espinosa.
when I looked at Tommy's, he was more confident, and I like that in a guy when I'm fighting him, like more confidence and relax. But I like to try to break that confidence in the beginning, kind of.
Nice. Yeah. So I like that, it seems like you don't really do not that you don't do any prep, but it seems like you wait until you get to the fight and then, hey, let's see let's see what a guy actually looks like. Cause anybody can say, things, and this guy hasn't fought in, like I said, a long time. So he could be a
Right.
completely different guy
Mm-hmm.
um coming in there. But so you're fighting B2 fighting series in Dayton. Your last couple fights have been in Columbus area and Newark. Um, what do you think about fighting in Dayton? It's a little bit further away from home. It's a different promotion that you've never fought for before. How do you feel heading into this one?
Everything would be too sound. It seems good right now. They taking care of me. They getting all my paperwork and everything's up to date. So, they seem like they know what they're doing. So, and I see them everywhere. So, it's look like they are a good fight promotion to fight for.
Cool. Yeah, I know it's a group that's of guys that's been around for a long time, and
Okay.
back to the Hard Rock days, and
All right.
yeah, so they've been around for a while, but it's nice to see them putting on shows and seeing some more shows coming back because I know for a while there it was like we got one promotion in Ohio. What's going on? And
Yeah, man.
nice,
Ohio been
yeah.
really slow, man. We need to pick this up. Like, come on, Ohio. I mean, I love my state, but come on.
Especially getting to see the fights for the amateurs too. Like it's better when you get more fights locally. Like you haven't had anything up by you in a long time. I think there was one event this year up in like Akron,
Yep.
um,
Uh-huh.
but that's not enough for young amateurs and early in their career to stay busy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's nice to see some shows starting to come back. Hopefully, into this year, going next year, we'll see more and more, and then. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to see you
No.
fighting locally anymore because I think you're headed to bigger and better things. But last but not least, man, who do you got to shout out? Sponsors, anything like that? Now's your time.
Mostly I like to shout out my fiance, soon to be wife here next year. We getting married. I like to shout her out, Alexandria Stewart. She's been, supportive always since the beginning. She's been there. And everybody that trains with me, y'all know who y'all are. All my people at next level, Aries, Dave, my coaches, John Cook. I love you, man. Always stay strong. You got anything. You put your mind to it, you can beat anything. Love you, dude. Um, my boys out there that's making all that noise. Thank you for always, keeping me strong and ready to go whenever y'all are. So that's it. And
Family
of
man.
course, you,
I
my man.
remember.
Always, you too, man. You've been in the same forever, man. You put your heart into this MMA life too, man.
I remember. We both been in. I first met you. I think we were both a lot younger and a lot.
Hey, we
You're
still
pretty
young.
much the
What you talking
same
about? We
guy,
still
but
young. We're still young.
I mean, I still got a little bit of a baby face, but I look at the old video interviews of me interviewing you and like Cody Garbrandt and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like I found some old videos of Fight Night in the Flats of
Oh,
me
nice.
interviewing Cody. Cody Garbrandt with no tattoos, and
Oh,
that's
real?
how
No
long
tattoos?
I always say I know Cody since before he had all the tattoos. So that's
That's
how you know
crazy.
I've been around a while, man. So all right, man. Saturday night in Dayton, Ohio, at the Convention Center, Jerrell Hodge in the main event once again.
Always. We stay there, man.
They make you wait.
Yeah, man, I hate that, man. I tell everybody, like, look, we're going to be there all night. So don't get too hyped. Don't get too tired. Get a lot of rest before because we're going to be there to the end. So, but yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me, and best wishes. And I'll see you soon.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
later.
Yep.
Later.